Good morning. Oh, my voice. Just a little bit. How are you this morning? I hope that the rain that we are experiencing here, that you consider it a calming, soothing thing and not something else to worry about. I was going to bed last night with my just kind of mumbling a little bit with my husband, and honestly kind of going into this complaining mode. So I'm telling on myself right now. But I had seen that a little warning had popped up on my phone, and it was saying that we were now in a tornado warning. And I was like, come on, like, we need a break, God. Like, maybe the rain is a blessing, and I need to just get over it. But I was and it's not about the rain, honestly. We're stuck in the house anyway. But it was about the fact that we had a warning with it, and God, we can have rain, but please no tornadoes right now. Like, please, it doesn't need to be hailing and big winds and big loud noises all night long, because keeping us awake, because the night before my husband and I had gotten no sleep. It was interrupted the whole night from the storm. So that I was like, I want to rest fully, So this morning I wanted to come in here and share with you the next devotional that I received this morning. And this is what I'm doing. I'm promising that during the week I'm going to go live and share just my devotional with you. And I hope to get to know more of you as the weeks progress. And we are leaning into social media to be together. So I did make a post yesterday that said, hey, there is no need for us to be lonely while social distancing. And so I'm opening up my Zoom room. If you don't know, Zoom is just a conference call. Like, businesses use it all the time for conference calls. We're using it to stay connected to my community and my friends, fitness and health wellness community. And you don't have to be into any of that if you just want to come and hang out with some mamas. How about that? Because we are all in this together, and we're sharing things with each other of how we're getting through. Right now, I just noticed that one of my friends, it was sharing some things on her stories about things that she's doing at home with the kids. And I thought, man, I wish I was creative like that. And so I'm going to reach out to her and ask if she would show me what she's doing, so that I can share it with my friends and make sure that they get that resource too, because I may not have littles anymore, but I still saw some things that sparked my eye, and I do know mamas who do have some littles who would appreciate that. Like, everything from structuring the day. I can share with you how I'm doing it, but mine are 11 and 11 to 14, about to turn 15. Bless her heart, she might still be in quarantine when she turns 15. But I'm just excited to be able to lean in to a community of women who are passionate about all the same things that I am, and trying to do the same things in their life and stay positive and focused each day for themselves and their kids and their husbands whenever they walk in the door. So in the middle of all that, y'all, one more announcement, and then I'm getting into our devotional today. In the middle of all that, I am trying to quickly learn how the best practices for virtual training, and get my technology up to snuff, which is a little bit even more challenging than I thought it was going to be. Simply, I'm going to have to click a button, and I'm going to have to order some things and wait for it to get here, and it's just taking longer, and it's costing, if I'm going to be honest, costing a little bit more than I thought it would for me to get it up and going, but the way that I want it done, right? The way that I know that I want to be able to deliver this to the people that I serve and teach at the quality level that I want. So I appreciate all of you who are in there growing with me, and did the first virtual workout with me. That even though we're working through the kinks, I hope that the video quality was good. I heard some positive feedback that the video quality was good, cueing was great, and that the music could have been louder. I know us Group X people, we like the music louder. So those are the technology things that I'm working on. But is getting the right devices all connected in the right way to have those full sounds and full voice and the whole thing. Because listen to this, right? By the way, wrong time to be having allergy issues, right? But that's what happens when you live in the Dallas, Texas area, and you're originally a Louisiana girl and you never had allergies your whole life, and you move to Dallas, and every time it rains, every time the weather shifts, you get this and you get this. And so this starts to happen when you use your voice a lot. And so that's what's happening to me. But it is what it is, which is a Texas saying, by the way, because I never heard that before I moved here. All right, so awareness and awakening. I have been returning to Leap into Love, a devotional by Havilah Cunnington. Y'all, please go check her out. She's sharing resources too right now, and I'm loving. I just signed up for a mentorship with her, and I'm like really excited to learn from this lady. But she has this devotional that I had started last month with my book club, and I was leaning into this one area right here because it's right exactly where I'm at, where I was like, okay, Lord, I'm looking around me right now, and I'm realizing that all the things that I was before saying was quote unquote holding me back and in the way of me being able to grow in certain areas, guess what? It's now been removed. I have all the time. I'm not running back and forth with kids a lot every day. I'm not running to and from my 12 classes at the gym every day. I have the extra time that I've been wanting to focus in on my online coaching. I have, to be able to be in front of the computer, to be on, in front of my phone, and be more present with my clients and my challengers, and also be able to devote time to the behind the scenes things that I have to do as a business owner. And at the same time, I also have this extra time to be spending even more one-on-one time with my kids. So, okay, Lord, I feel kind of like, not that I think coronavirus was his plan, but that he still has a plan for me in this time. If you can grasp onto that truth with me, I think that right there, if you just grab that and, you have to get off this call, then you got it, okay? Let that sink in, that while, and that none of this is a surprise to God. None of this is a surprise to God. And he is still in control, right? And so yesterday I shared with you how in my heart it came alive that, I just need to focus on loving the things I can still do, which are leaning into God, still loving him with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength, even in the middle of this situation and struggle, and then serve others, right? So this next part, though, is this where I'm at this morning, is recognizing where, good morning, Mama Lena, I see you. So recognizing where I am having to be brave in some areas that, it was just thinking about it before, but now the time to act is upon me, and all the obstacles have been removed. So all that's left are really the internal obstacles. The external obstacles are gone, except for the technology thing on the virtual training, but the internal struggles are still there. And so I had started this process of what is like, so I was made aware. He helped me be aware of where my blockages were, where either my personality, my soul, like my thinking and my feelings, and the patterns and the habits, the bad habits, or the old habits, not necessarily bad, but just old mindsets, old way of thinking of things, old habits, patterns that I had created in my life, either from childhood or just within the last 5 years, where these patterns of the way I had been living, I don't need to operate in that old programming anymore. And I'm gonna have to actually go through the pain and struggle and discomfort of pushing past and going through those fears and anxieties and worries that naturally bubble up when I start to act and take steps towards the other side of where, like the actual place I want to be in. And, just understanding that this is the cycle of growing. This is a cycle of self-growth, that first I become aware, not just of what I really want, but that what I'm going to have to do in order to get there. And then there's this, and so like that's where we start. And we see, we're like, oh, hey, like this is what I really want. And then we kind of travel a little bit, and we're still thinking on, this is what I really want. This is what I really want. Like I can imagine it in my mind, but I haven't started doing anything with it yet. And I don't know how to get there. So I start brainstorming and thinking, and then I realize, oh, I'm gonna have to do this. Well, in order to do that, okay, so this is my self-awareness. In order to do that, this is gonna have to get off my schedule. I'm gonna have to get over the fear of this, or I'm gonna have to learn to do this new skill, I should say. I'm gonna have to do this with the kids. I'm gonna have to do this with my eating. So like whether I'm talking about fitness, or I'm talking about business, or I'm talking about something I want to do with my kids, there's some things I'm noticing I'm gonna have to do this, something different than what I've done before. And then I keep traveling along this self-growth as I'm thinking about all these things that I'm now aware of that I'm gonna also have to get over. Yeah, I'm either gonna have to learn something new, or I'm gonna have to get over myself, right? These old habits and old tendencies. And whenever I notice that, the next place I'm gonna arrive in is, oh wait, now I'm kind of getting nervous about making these changes. Now I'm kind of worried about like, how much is that gonna cost? Now I've got a little bit of anxiety about what if I don't do it well? What if I fail at it? What if I'm just not that kind of person? What if I'm just not cut out to be able to do that? What if I start it but I don't finish it, right? So like all these different thoughts and anxieties and fears and worries about the change that we're saying we need, or that we either know that we need to make, or that is upon us to make out of our control. We are experiencing these pains and worries and anxieties. And what we have to realize is that in order to get through all those pains and worries and anxiety, to get to that God idea, that place that we know that God put in our heart way over here, that started us on the journey, that said, this is where I want to be, right? I can't just go from the awareness and cross over to where I want to be. I have to go from the awareness through the struggle and the changes and the worry and anxiety. I have to experience those and go through them instead of allowing them to stop me. You see that? Instead of the fears and anxiety, like if I'm here and I'm aware of it and I'm traveling along my little self-growth circle and I come into fear and anxiety, y'all, I have to break through those. I have to get them out of the way instead of allowing them to be stronger than me. You get it? So that I can just go right on through and continue on to that place where I want to be. It's not going to happen any other way. And so how do we push through? Well, it's taken years for us to build up these defenses, these what Havilah calls soul defenses. And, what we call our personality, she says, I'm just not that kind of person, or I'm just not really good at that. Well, those are things that, either through a way of thinking or circumstances that happen, and we have made decisions about who we are, what we can do and what we can't do. And what's happening is when we get to this place, it's like God is saying, hey, girlfriend, hey, little girl, it's time to grow up. It's time to trust me and growing you up and growing you through those struggles and fears and anxieties. It's time to get over those things and grow so you can enjoy this level of life. And we can't get to that new level until we become the person that can maintain and sustain that new level, you see. And the only way that we can become that new person is to go through the fears and the struggles and to break those barriers down that the people living there already have already done. See? So like when we look at somebody and we go, oh man, I wish I could live the way she is right now. I wish I was as dedicated to my workouts. I wish I was excited about getting up every morning to do pressing play and doing my workout. I wish I was excited about salads every day. I wish I was self-disciplined and I wish I had more patience with my kids. I wish I wanted to play with my kids. I wish I was better at structuring my day and scheduling my time. I wish I was better with time management. I wish I was better. I wish I was at a place that I could start my own online business. I wish that I was at a place where I could have that better marriage with my husband and, laugh and be vulnerable with him, all those things. Guess what? We have to go through this part first. And so in order to go through these, anything that is mental, anything that is on a soul level, spirit overrides it. So if we can connect the Spirit of God, He's got us. Right? So remember what we shared yesterday about that if I abide in Him, if I stay connected to Him, then I will produce much fruit. So that's still the answer here today, y'all. That's still the answer. It is. And I hear you already saying like, okay, but that's so abstract. That's not like concrete. I want concrete. Well, here's the thing. It actually is. It becomes a concrete thing. So while it starts spiritually, right? It starts with me on a spiritual level. It makes its way into the physical when I decide by faith, get that? Believing in something I can't yet see to do. That's when it crosses over into the physical. And whenever I do it enough, guess what happens? I break through those barriers. It's like through the doing by faith. So I'm going to talk more about this in the coming mornings, but I just kind of wanted to start there and find out, okay, what are some things from you that right now, given the situation, or even you realized it before, you've become self-aware, like, hey, I really want to be living here, right? But you're not quite sure how to get there. Or maybe you're a little bit further in that growth process like I am, where you've been made aware of where you want to be. And you have you've kind of had this spiritual awakening. You've had this moment with God where you're kind of like, I don't really like the way that I'm living right now. And now you're aware of the things that need to change. And you're kind of facing those fears and anxieties right now. You're looking at them and staring them down, and you're like, now you're at the place where you're having to do some physical things by faith to believe that He's going to get you over to this other side. So I want to hear about those things. I want to know the things that are going on. And what I've done is I'm opening up my community group. I'm opening up my through my Zoom. But you have to message me because I need to know you're a real person. I'm not going to just blast my ID out there and have just random people showing up. I really want those people who connect with me personally, for us to be able to sit and talk back and forth instead of me just sitting here and you typing in your comment box, which that's fine too. But if you're wanting to really kind of lean in and find a sisterhood of women kind of in this same process with you, especially if it's with fitness and working out and nutrition and things, because y'all, we go through that, right? It's perfect. It's a perfect parallel that I can share is, we say, hey, I don't like the way that I'm feeling right now. And, God kind of given me this idea of, hey, I want to be healthy. I want to be strong. I want to have a strong core. I want to be stronger in my arms. I want to not have that pain in my shoulder. I want to not have low back problems. That's where I was. I had lots of pain in my body from previous injuries and just a lifelong bad back, weak back of what I've been told. So I had been thinking all my life, like, hey, I have a bad back. I have scoliosis. I have these problems. I've always been, had pain in my low back. It's just the way that I'm going to have to live my life. And so I'll never be able to be a strong, quote unquote strong, like being able to lift without pain. And when I reached motherhood, I was really frustrated about that. I was like, man, I don't want to pick up a kid and my back goes out. That's not how I want to live my life. And I did, and I had gained weight. And I was like, I want these changes in my life. I want to feel, strong and comfortable in my skin and all these things. And I wanted to feel in control of my eating because I had to let my emotional eating just like get to a place in my life where it was running my day, my every single day. And I recognized that I was hiding those things out of shame and guilt and, fear and all these things. And I was tired of living there. So, hey, spiritual awakening, right? God kind of gave me the idea that I, could do better. And then I work through this self-awareness thing. I had to be aware of like, okay, what are some changes I'm going to have to make? What are some things that I'm going to have to do in order to get better with my nutrition and overcome emotional eating and heal my gut of the IBS stuff? And, how am I going to have to eat for that? What are some foods I'm going to have to eat for that? What are some changes I'm going to have to make in my lifestyle? What are some workouts that I'm going to have to do? And, what are some things that I'm going to have to do to change the timing and schedule of my day? Well, then once I got through that, the next thing was I had to actually start doing the things, and it was uncomfortable. It was painful. And as a coach, as an online fitness coach for people, I see it a lot. When they reach out to me, they're somewhere here or here. And I help them start on that pathway to busting through those fears and the troubles, the physical things, the part where by faith we have to start taking action and when it's uncomfortable for them, they're reaching out to me and they're like, oh my God, this is harder. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if my schedule will allow. I'm a college student and I just don't know if I have the time. It's a great idea. And I know what I have to do. I just don't know if I can. You see that? So where I come in as the coach is I'm helping them like bust through those limiting beliefs. But it's a process, y'all. And some people get through that quickly. And because they're willing to really lean in and do the digging. And a light bulb goes off. For some people, it's because they are able to just do it even if they don't feel like it right now. And then that supernatural part comes through where, it finally the momentum comes and whoosh, and so for some people, it happens like that. They immediately grab onto the 21-day, 30-day, 60-day, 90-day program. And for others, y'all, some of us, we got triggers. We got things going on that it just takes, we go over one hurdle and then we have another one and then we have another one, right? But the thing we have to do though is stop letting it just stop us, just block us from all the blessings that's on this other side. And once we break through all those things, that's when we start living that life that we said that we wanted, right? So, all right, I'm going to check in with y'all tomorrow. We're going to dig a little bit deeper in this. Now I got to go press play on my workout and get my kids up to start their day. I'm going to come in here again, or actually I might make a post about it. We'll see. I'm going to share more about like what our day looks like right now. Probably a post. Probably be real easy to share that post. So any of you with kids and, kind of in my age range or just out of curiosity, you want to see how I'm structuring our day. Is it perfect yet? No, but I'm working through it, and I can see the promise. And so I'm just working through those struggles. So, all right, I'm going to pray. Father, just thank you. Thank you for being here with us every single morning and promising to be with us always. Thank you that we are never alone, and that you are bringing new ideas to our minds right now, and helping us kind of dig through and expose those lies, those things that we have believed about ourselves that have kept us from living the life that we want most. And so as you reveal those lies, and you're also showing us the ideas, the strategies, and the ways, and not just that, Lord God, but the promises from you that we can grab hold to pull us through by faith, being able to act even if we don't feel like it. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.